Hey everybody, we are back to continue our 2018 Case A and B ration series. We're going to start busting out menu number 6, which is beef taco. So let's take a look what's inside of this thing. Again, we will try our luck with a peelable seal. Here we go. And this one is back in the double bag like we would expect. The last one kind of surprised us. It did not have a double bag. And it's nice because it has all these nice little tear notches on the side. You get another little one of these small ones. I think this is the first time I've had a type orange. And as somebody said, these are sugar-free, but these have these do have a lot of like aspartame in there, which can be not necessarily good for you. Nut raisin mix, or like a trail mix. Here is a cheese spread. Spoon. Santa Fe rice and beans. Our accessory pack. Take a look at that in a second. FRH. Hot beverage bag. Plain tortillas. Beef taco, and then we have the sleeves that have the nutrition facts and ingredients. And if you look, it says packed for Sopaco, and this one clearly says distributed by Ameriqual. And we'll take a look at our accessory packet. Again, it's got these nice little tear notches on here. We got some coffee, creamer, or maybe I got those backwards, salt, moist towelette, toilet paper, sugar, matches, and of course some gum. Well, let's get this heated up and the drinks made. Now before we heat this up, I just want to tell you I've been doing some kind of experiments off camera on how to better utilize this FRH. Kind of like those other rations. Now, if you just get a square heating element that's down at the bottom, it literally sits at the bottom and the steam and everything heats your food. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this pad, crush it all together into a smaller package that's going to rest right on the bottom, and we're going to take this salt and just let the salt absorb into some water before we pour it into our FRH. And these require about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of water to activate. So just put a little salt in there so we get that saline solution to get that positive activation. We'll just let that all mingle together. And just slowly by slowly, just swirling this, makes all of that salt absorb into that water. And again with this, we are literally just going to force this entire heating element right down to the bottom. And it helps. Use your spoon. It's still in the plastic. Get that all the way down to the bottom. Then just give it a nice, and that's exactly what we want it. Right down there on the bottom. Then grab your beans and taco meat. Give them a nice little knead. Break it all up. Make sure that that heat gets all in between all of them. And we're going to stick these in before we add the water. Now let's pour this stuff in. Now, without a doubt, we know that that water is going to heat the pads. They're going to do what they need to do. Fold this up a little bit. I'm going to use my trusty binder clips and use our rock or something. If you can look, man, you can already see this thing bubbling. And keep in mind, these are designed to be dumped right into a 20-ounce plastic bottle of water. And there's not too much left, man. Just a pack of tortillas, some nut raisin mix, and some cheese. Yeah, no crackers, no nothing, no crunch component. But this is what we got. This is what we're going to open up Now, as a disclaimer, I did try to cram these inside of that FRH, but that bag was just too tight. It would not let these things in. And I don't have a whole lot of faith in these U.S. military FRHs to start with, to heat everything thoroughly. Slide that over there so it can join the party. And the only thing left is just a cup of coffee, which I'm going to hang on to this for radio watch or something else tonight. And of course my gum, which I'm going to use when I edit this review. Okay, the bottom of this is pretty hot. What I'm going to do is flip these inside the bag and maybe we can get a thoroughly warmed through ration. Well, that's the best that they're going to get. There's no steam or anything coming off this FRH anymore. However, this is still hot down here, so if you didn't want your coffee, you could throw your hot beverage bag in here, and I'm sure it would kind of warm that water up. I'm not calling it a complete fail, but these FRHs, they just do not hold a candle to the wind compared to some other countries' rations. It just needs a larger heating element, period. Because you can see some of that is kind of heated up. Some of it still looks like, yeah. Now, ordinarily, you would just put this directly right on your tortilla, but for presentation reasons, I'm dumping it right here in the tray. And it looks like something dumped right out of something else. But we won't say it out loud. Oh, and sometimes these tear notches work well, and sometimes not. And even though that we kneaded that up really good, still kind of, see, the bottom part looks like it got enough heat, and the top part not so much. That is a darn shame. Come on, Natick, step up your game. Really has me wondering just how effective those air activated heaters that they're coming out with are even going to remotely be like. Well, seeing how I've already got this inside of, well, I guess the rice and beans, I'm going to put some of this right in this tortilla. I'm going to grab a little of this beef taco right in here too. And this is such a missed opportunity. This needs crushed red pepper or anything else to help season this. And grab a little bit of our cheese. So you can take a look at all of that all together. Now granted, if the tortillas, if they were nice and warmed up, we probably wouldn't have any splitting action, which we're most likely going to have. But here we go. Beef taco. Not bad. Not overly hot though. The sauce in this is nice and kind of creamy. The beef, it does have a pleasant taste. You can kind of taste a little bit of like chili powder in here. Let's just try this right on its own. It says that there's some cayenne pepper, and again, I'll scroll the ingredients, or the major ingredients, right there on the bottom. You can't really taste it, and I'm looking for my salt right now. What did I do with it? Because it does need just a little hint of something. So I'm just going to put just a little salt, just to season that slightly, and we'll try that again. See if that helps any at all. It does kind of, because it's nice and fresh, but again, this thing already has, what, 890 milligrams of salt in it to start with. So adding more salt might not necessarily be the greatest idea unless if you are really, really active out in the field. Well, I'm going to take another bite of this before it all unfolds and gets all unmanageable. Look at all that stuff on the bottom. If we had some like crackers or some of those little cheese squares, like Cheez-It things, whatever they happen to call them, that would be good because you could crumble some of them up for like a little texture. They need to find a way like to get some like tortilla chips. Field tortilla chips would be awesome. Somebody need to think of that. Work on that. Field tortilla chips. Yum. And here's a look at our orange drink. Not too bad. Definitely orange flavor. It kind of has kind of a weird kind of chemical smell. I didn't notice it until I was taking that sip and it was right up near my face. And I'm like, It's not like that nice tang smell that you had as a kid. Well, that's if you grew up in the 60s or the 70s. But this has I just cleaned the bathtub kind of chemical smell. Let's take a little closer look at these Santa Fe rice and beans. I initially thought these were just like black beans and sauce. And again, you can see the rice. You can see the black beans in there. And again, I'll scroll the major ingredients and the fixings that are inside of this rice. You see it's got like a nice little creamy sauce. And this definitely is salty. You can taste that salt. And this thing has 650 milligrams of salt just on its own as well. This takes up almost over half of your daily recommended allowance for a salt intake. And then lastly, we have this nut mix, trail nut mix, and of course it has like some M&Ms, which of course I don't think they're M&Ms because there's no M, they're not browted. So chocolate coated discs or candy coated chocolate, something like that. Well, down the hatch. It's got raisins, peanuts, some other stuff. It looks like I've got almonds, walnut. And everybody, this was menu 6 of a 2018 Case A beef taco. Thanks for joining me for this ration review, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.